welcome to Shawl Crochet. I'm Shawl. It's time for Spring Fling 2020. Hi everybody, welcome back to Shawl Crochet. I'm not sure if you've seen, but Christa from the Secret Yarnery and Glenda from Creative Grandma are at it again with another great challenge for all of us. It's called Spring Fling 2020, and you'll find Christa's video explaining the entire thing in the description box below this video. It's basically a bunch of questions, and it's helping us get organized for what we want to do in the spring. So here we go. Question number 1. Does your yarn color change with the season? I guess it changes a little bit. Like, I have felt really inspired to be working with a lot of cotton stuff. In spring, that generally happens to me. This year, maybe a little bit more over the top, but I have been definitely gravitating to my cotton, and so far it's been a lot of household items. But I did pull out one of my Carrie cotton cakes this week and start a shawl, and I'm definitely thinking about spring summer wearables. And so yes, the lighter colors do appeal to me. But generally when I'm crocheting, my color choices are about who the item is for, and sometimes just about a yarn I want to try, and often the yarn I want to try projects just go in my charity piles. So it works well for me either way. Overall, I gravitate more towards darker earth tone type colors. But there's definitely a time for bright colors, and I do appreciate them for certain objects and certain projects as well. Question number 2. What spring summer color do you like best? I guess for me it is kind of about what the yarn is I have. I don't have like a specific color that I gravitate towards just for spring and summer, but definitely, like I was saying before, the lighter colors for sure. Question number 3. What is your favorite fiber to use in spring? My favorite fiber to use in spring is definitely cotton or some kind of a cotton blend. I haven't really had much access to other things like bamboo and things like that, but I'm sure that they would be great as well. So for me, it will be my cottons and cotton blends. Question number 4. What is your favorite item to crochet for spring? My favorite item to crochet for spring would be household things. So whether that's dishcloths, different items for the kitchen, tea towels, coasters. I'm a little coaster crazy, as we've all already noticed. And I also love to do market bags, baskets, things to help you tidy up and declutter for that time of year. Question number 5. Is there a space in your home you want to organize, and what are your goals for that space? There are several spaces in my home I would like to organize, but we're a little bit limited there. I have a lot of arthritis, so I do not do stairs, so the basement is off limits to me. And I also have an almost 17-year-old cat named Star, who is also very arthritic and cannot go downstairs. So we share the main floor space of our bungalow townhouse, and because of that, we're very limited in space. Our spare room is kind of dedicated to Star and her needs right now. So the downstairs is a bit of a holding pen, and my husband does have an area down there, but you know, we don't have as many options as I would like. We definitely have enough space. It's just really getting at that space. So one thing that we do have in our area that is very handy is a value village. And so every year when I swap the clothes out, I only do it twice a year. So I swap it out for spring, summer, and then I swap it back out for fall, winter. I just take anything that I haven't used in that season and I put it in a donate bag for Value Village, and they go off to Value Village. So that really helps keep everything at a fairly good spot clothing wise and even linen wise. But what we really do need to do is go through some of the things that we brought into the house when we first moved here almost 7 years ago and get rid of some of those things that we haven't touched yet. So that would definitely be a goal. Question number 6. When clearing out your stash, what do you do with the yarn you no longer want? Well, I've only had a stash for about 5 minutes, so I can't really say that there is a lot of yarn in there that I don't want. Seriously, I've only started developing a yarnscape since probably 2018, and basically also still learning really what kind of yarn and what kind of yarn fibers I want. So there isn't a lot of extra yarn in there for me to be getting rid of, but I'm sure that I would be able to find charities and things like that to take the yarns I don't want. Question number 7. Is there a charity in your area that you support? Tell us about it. I have a bit of a different take on charity crochet. So there is a specific charity that I support every Christmas through my work. There is a neighborhood center in my area that supports families, and as a team, we support a family every year. So it's worked out that I guess in 2018 I did hats and scarves, or was it just scarves? In 2018, I think it was scarves, and I did them for a family of 6 or something like that. And then this year it was hats and scarves because they were short of the male items, so for 2 boys and a dad. And so I always choose to make the stuff that I donate, but that whole family gets supported based on a list provided by the charity by our team at work. So that's one of the personal side. The other things that I do for charity is I have a friend and family pop-up sort of crochet party in the fall every year. And when I do that, one of the things I tell them is if there's a specific charity that they'd like to support, just let me know. And anything that doesn't get taken at that pop-up event can go to their charities. So regularly they take items and things like women's shelters and church groups and all of that. So I feel like that way my friends are able to support things that are close to them. And then the other thing that I like to do charity-wise is often different groups need to do fundraisers. So they'll do silent auctions and things like that, and I regularly donate items to those types of things so that they can then raise some money for whatever type of event it is that they're planning. And that's great as well. So always have a lot of stuff in the charity bin. Question number 8. Do you want to increase your physical activity? If so, how? I'm very limited for physical activity because of the arthritis that I have, but what I do embrace is a lot of different stretching and things like that. There are some physiotherapists on YouTube. They're called Bob and Brad. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're quite popular, and I do regularly go to their YouTube videos to check out different things that I can be doing to help my little pains and things like that feel better, and they do work really well. So there's that, and I'm always kind of open to suggestion in that area. Question number 9. How many whips do you have on the go? How many will you finish? I have 4 whips on the go. I have 2 shawls and 2 blankets. 3 of those will be finished before April, so they'll be available to be seen in my April update towards the end of April. And the Granny Square blanket will probably not be until May because that's a bigger project. And then not really whips, but I am making hats for not hate on a regular basis, but when I make a hat, I finish a hat. I don't tend to leave it unfinished. And other little things that are sort of I'm making it and finishing it in one sitting. I tend to have more whips at the beginning of a month, and then by the time I do my update video at the end of the month, I'm only bringing 1 or 2 of those into the next month. For me, how I like it to be is about 3 larger whips and then 1 or 2 small to medium. Those may not get finished in one sitting, and then everything else that I'm doing, I like it to get finished in one sitting. So if I'm bored of what I'm doing, I'll make washcloths or a set of coasters or scrunchies just because then I know I can see that it's finished. I don't like to have too many whips carrying over month to month to month because I don't like my whips to become UFOs. On to question number 10. What new project do you want to start and why? Well, I have started a cakes and candles shawl because that is one of my Make 9 projects. And of the Make 9 projects, the only ones I've actually completed so far is the Divine Hat. So given that we're in the 4th month of the year now, I want to make a little bit more progress on that. So cakes and candles will get done in April for sure, and maybe one of the other ones. I'm really hoping one of the other ones just so I can feel like I'm more ahead of the game than behind the game. And also because a couple of the projects on there are bigger projects and I'm waiting intentionally. Anyway, I will definitely at least tackle 1 to 2 Make 9s in April. Question number 11. What is the oldest yarn you have in your stash and why haven't you used it? Well, like I was saying earlier, my stash really only exists 2018 and onwards, and there were a couple of things that were really bad buys. One of it came in the mystery bags from either Yarnspirations, and it happened to be some kind of, not loop it the way the actual loop it yarn is, but like it does have those loops all over it. It's white yarn. I should have grabbed it. What I'll do is I'll take a picture and I'll pop up a picture of it. And I have successfully used it. I've used it to trim Christmas hats, and also Christmas cuffs on an ugly Christmas sweater I was helping someone make. But it's not fun to work with at all. So I do have a couple balls of that. It doesn't need to go in the garbage or anything. I just would never get it intentionally. And then the other yarn that I am completely disillusioned by and will never ever get again is the Fentex slipper yarn. I just do not even understand it. I can't even imagine why it's still popular and people use it in this day and age, because it feels so plasticky, and like there's just so many things. Again, I'll pop up a picture of some for you, but it's beyond me that that's what's been used for slippers for all of these years. Because even though it won't wear, it's just, how would you want to even put your feet in that? I've even tried like pairing it with a second yarn and using it to make bags, and it just is terrible to work with. I do not have fun with that yarn. So those are my two worst buys, I think so far. You know, that's why I haven't used them. Question number 12, how do you keep your yarn clean? Well, most of my yarn has a good space to hang out in. So I use my closet in my bedroom on the ground and up on the shelves to store yarn. And we do have some that's moved to the basement at this point. And then I have some on display in my room as well. But I have yarn in totes and or zippered bags. So I have some of those zippered bags that come when you get a new set of like a comforter set or a sheet set. And my family has donated a couple of those to me as well, so I can keep it clean that way. The totes, we just had them, and so I use them accordingly. And then I had ordered some big zippered bags from Walmart. They're nice and big. The only drawback is they don't have any structure, so everything just kind of gets pretty loosey-goosey in there. And then I kind of have my other yarns protected in the cubbies, so I put the cubes kind of on their side so they're not getting like direct access to a lot of dust and air. And then things that I leave out because they're pretty and I want to look at them, I'll deal with cleaning that as it comes. So I'll make the object and then clean the object, wash and dry the object, do whatever I need to do. It's fairly easy to keep things clean around here. Question number 13, how do you wash your crochet or knit items? When I make things that are 100% acrylic, I do the instructions on the yarn ball. So I will do the wash and dry according to the yarn ball and send it off to its new home that way. So no worries. Question 14, what is your #1 spring cleaning tip? When we change out our cedar chest over to our closets for spring summer, I like to go through all the fall winter items and put them in bags and send them over to Value Village. It's just easy to do it that way because you're gonna go through everything that way anyway, and I can account for some of the new purchases throughout the year by getting rid of some of the things we're not enjoying anymore, and hopefully have someone who could really use it enjoy it instead. So that's my big tip. It's easy for us though because it's right across the street, but it really is helpful if you have a plan. So 14 was the last question, and now it's time to tag some people. So I haven't really seen very many of these videos yet other than Christa's, so I'm hoping these people haven't already been tagged. But first of all, if you're watching this video and you'd like to participate, whether you have a channel or not, please feel free. And I would like to tag Rosie from Nona's Stitching Lounge, Debbie from the Canadian Crocheter, Kat from Cat Crochet, Carrie Penny from the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and anyone else who'd like to participate, please join us. It was fun to answer these questions. I look forward to trying to meet the goals I set within this video. So if you're watching this video and you'd like to participate, please do. I'd love to see the answers to your questions in the comments or on a video that you're gonna create. Today is Saturday, April the 4th. I hope everybody is staying home to stay safe, and I will be back at the end of the month with my April update, and maybe in between, who knows. This is Shell Crochet. Have a great day, everybody, and happy crochet.